Ever wondered what happens when a character stops playing nice and unleashes their true potential? Yeah, we're breaking down those massive holy moly moments where the power scaling goes off the charts. From god tier mutants to sorcerers, here are the best power revelation scenes in no specific order. Starting off with a classic, we have Black Widow proving that you don't need a fancy hammer or a super soldier serum to be absolutely terrifying. Natasha starts the scene tied to a chair, looking like she's about to be the victim of a cliche interrogation by some Russian goons. Honestly, the villains really thought they had the upper hand here, which is the ultimate rookie mistake when dealing with a former assassin. The moment she gets that phone call and decides she's on hold, the entire vibe shifts. She treats the chair like a gymnastic prop, flipping around and dismantling 3 grown men while her hands are literally still bound. It's a masterclass in psychological warfare and physical dominance. This scene was the first time many fans realized that the human member of the team might actually be the most dangerous person in the room. She didn't just beat them up, she completely clowned them while gathering intel just like it was a casual Tuesday. This is peak spy energy, and honestly, the aura she projected here was just off the charts. If you thought the MCU was getting a bit too soft, Sentry just walked in and decided to reset the entire power dynamic. In this scene, he absolutely wrecks the Thunderbolts, and it's not even a fair fight. Watching him dismantle a team of seasoned killers and super soldiers is like watching a professional athlete play against a group of toddlers. The sheer scale of his power is terrifying. He isn't just strong, he's a walking natural disaster. The Thunderbolts look genuinely traumatized by the encounter, and frankly, I don't blame them. It's one of those messed around and found out moments where the heroes, or anti-heroes in this case, realize they're completely outclassed. The visual effects here are stunning, showing off a level of raw energy that makes even the Hulk look like a gym bro on rest day. It's pure chaos, and the way he dominates the screen is absolute cinema. You can tell the writers wanted to make a statement with this revelation. Sentry isn't just a new player, he's the guy who just broke the entire game.
I don't... Not my favorite Chris.
You stupid piece of shit. You just got him fucking killed.
Hey, we're all grieving.
This scene is the definition of that escalated quickly. We finally get to see the MCU debut of Johnny Storm, played by the legend Chris Evans, and for a second, every fanboy in the cinema was screaming. But then, Cassandra Nova enters the chat and decided to ruin everyone's day in the most brutal way possible. She doesn't just defeat the Human Torch, she straight up ends him with a casual flick of her psychic powers. It's not even like we can call this one a contest now, can we? The gore here was genuinely shocking for a Marvel flick, reminding us that we're not in PG-13 territory anymore. Cassandra's vibe is so chilling because she acts like she's just swatting a fly. Poor Johnny didn't even stand a chance here, did he? It's a massive power reveal for Nova, showing that she's a threat on a level that we haven't seen in the multiverse yet. The way she peels back his skin was absolutely mental. Definitely not something you see in the Mickey Mouse house normally. It established her as a total beast and set a dark tone for the rest of the movie.
Go get her, Tiger. Oh, I so pity the dude who pressures her into prom sex.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead has quite possibly got the coolest name in comic book history, and in this scene, she finally shows us why. While Deadpool is busy cracking jokes and Colossus is trying to be a gentle giant, Negasonic is just vibing in the background looking bored AF. But when Angel Dust starts getting a bit too big for her boots, our girl decides it's time to go nuclear. The way she charges up and blasts into angel dust is pure hype. It's a massive kinetic explosion that looks like a mini supernova hitting the scrapyard. The CGI for her powers was pretty sleek for a movie that most people were unsure of backing in 2016. It was the first time we saw her actually warhead someone, and it was glorious. Seeing her turn into a human cannibal reminded everyone that the X-Men Juniors aren't to be trifled with. She's got that classic Gen Z whatever attitude. When she flips the switch, the power revelation is absolutely explosive. It was a total female Chad move that proves she's much more than a moody teenager with a smartphone.
You're on the left. You're beautiful.
That is so sweet. Thanks.
Sebastian Shaw is the kind of villain who makes you feel like every attack you throw is just a gift. In this chilling revelation, we see him casually absorb the energy from a grenade like he's just had a light snack. The way he keeps that calm, smug look on his face while Colonel Henry is losing his mind is peak villain energy. Then comes the Uno reverse moment where he transfers that energy back and, well, let's just say the Colonel didn't have a great time. It's a terrifying display of power because it tells us how this psychotic yet fashionable dude is virtually untouchable. How do you fight someone who literally eats your kinetic energy for breakfast? The visual of the energy being crushed by his hands was a great touch, showing the actual effect of his mutant gift. This scene established Shaw as a massive threat for Magneto and Xavier to deal with. It wasn't just a murder, it was a demonstration of absolute superiority. If you're going to be a badass, this is how you make an impression, by making the military look like total amateurs.
That's the boring part. The fun stuff is what I can do with it once I've got it.
Before this moment, Steve Rogers was just a brave kid from Brooklyn with a heart of gold and a body that looked like a stiff breeze could blow it over. But after the serum kicks in, he becomes the peak of human evolution. The chase scene through the streets of Brooklyn is the ultimate power reveal. Because it's not just about muscles, it's about raw, unbridled speed and agility. Watching him sprint past everyone else and catch up to a freaking car is such a rush. He's also figuring out his own limits in real time, and you can see the "what is happening" look on his face. When he finally catches up to the Hydra agent and accidentally rips the door off the sub, you know he's a proper Giga Chad in the making. The stunts here were top tier, showcasing a grounded but superhuman level of ability that defined the character for a decade. It wasn't just a transformation, it was the birth of a legend. Every 20-year-old fan wishes they could have a glow-up that legendary after a quick gym session.
Who the hell are you?
The first of many. Cut off one head. Two more shall take its place.
This is the OG chosen one moment for the 90s kids, which includes yours truly. Harry spent the whole movie just trying to figure out how to wave a stick properly when things get real in the basement with Quirrell and Voldemort. His true protection is revealed. It's not a spell or a flashy curse, it's literally the power of love acting like a weird physical acid against evil. Seeing Quirrell's face crumble into dust just by Harry touching him was pretty dark, especially for a kid's movie, you know? It's just a massive revelation because it proves that Harry has a divine layer of protection that even the Dark Lord didn't fully understand. The special effects for the crumbling skin were honestly quite impressive for 2001. It gave us the first taste of the boy who lived aura that would carry the franchise for another 7 films. It turns out that being an orphan with a lightning scar comes with some pretty OP defensive stats. Quirrell really messed around and found out that touching the main character without a permit is a one-way trip to the afterlife. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. If those words don't give you chills, you might just need to check your pulse.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
This is arguably the most iconic transformation in the entire MCU. We'd seen the Hulk before, but this was the first time we saw Bruce Banner fully in control of the Beast during a massive invasion. Where he casually walks towards a giant flying space worm and turns it into the Green Goliath with a single punch is absolute cinema. The scale of the power reveal here is off the charts. He stops a multi-ton Leviathan dead in its tracks. The sheer Chad energy radiating from this moment solidified the Hulk as the team's heavy hitter. Mark Ruffalo's delivery was perfect, and the CGI transition was so smooth, it set a new standard for superhero movies back in the day. It wasn't just a powerful reveal, it was the moment the Avengers truly became a team. Seeing the big guy smash everything in sight reminded us why he's the strongest there is. It's a viral moment that defined a generation of Marvel fans.
Smash.
While the sequel did have its fair share of haters, and by fair I mean a lot of haters, you can't deny that the flight sequence was a massive feel-good power revelation. For the longest time, we only saw Diana leaping or using the lasso of truth like a cosmic Spider-Man. But in this scene, she finally figures out how to ride the wind currents just like Steve told her to. It's a beautiful, almost poetic moment as she glides through the clouds and even uses elements to propel herself. It's a major level up for her character, showing that she's truly embracing her godlike heritage. The visual of her golden lasso catching what looked like a bolt of lightning was a total wow factor. I could be wrong about what she catches, so don't come at me in the comments please, okay? It changed her dynamic from a ground-based brawler to a literal goddess of the skies. Even if the movie's plot was a bit of a mess, this specific reveal had so much heart and scale. It's the kind of scene that reminds you why we love superhero movies. It's about reaching for the impossible. Diana finally taken to the skies was a long overdue moment that gave her a massive aura boost. This entry now, okay, is a bit different because it's a power reveal that's absolutely terrifying and also tragic. Charles Xavier, once the world's most powerful mind, is now an elderly man with a degenerative brain disease. When he has a seizure in a hotel, his psychic powers go completely out of control, freezing everyone in the vicinity in a state of excruciating mental paralysis. It's not a cool power reveal, it's a demonstration of how dangerous an Omega-level mutant can be when he loses his grip. The way the sound design conveys the pressure and the sheer agony of the people caught in the blast is chilling. Logan having to crawl through the psychic sludge to reach Charles shows just how much effort it takes to resist that level of mental force. It reminds us that Xavier's mind is essentially a weapon of mass destruction. This isn't a hero moment, it was a horror moment. It perfectly captured the dark, gritty tone of the movie and showed that even in his decline, Professor X can be the most dangerous man on the planet. Now, imagine if he and Magneto were on the same team. That would have been a crazy cheat code for the villains.
Darling, you have no idea what's possible.
If you want to talk about a power move that broke the internet, we most definitely have to talk about Hela. The goddess of death makes her debut and immediately does the unthinkable. She catches Mjolnir as if she's just stopping a frisbee. Now, we've seen people move the hammer or struggle with it, but Hela just holds it like it's a piece of junk. And then, with one hand, she literally shatters it into like a million pieces. The look on Thor's face was basically every fan in the theater. Pure, unadulterated shock. It was the ultimate power level check. If she can destroy the most iconic weapon in in the MCU without breaking a sweat, how's Thor supposed to win this one? Kate Blanchett brings so much gothic girl boss energy to this role, and this specific revelation established her as an S-tier threat. It wasn't just about breaking a hammer, it was about breaking Thor's entire identity as the god of thunder. The shards falling to the ground signaled a massive shift in the franchise. It remains one of the most disrespectful and badass villain reveals in cinematic history. Tony Stark has always been king of the upgrades, but his entrance in this particular scenario was something else entirely.
Where'd that come from?
It's nanotech. You like it? A little something.
When Cull Obsidian and Ebony Maw show up looking for the Time Stone, Tony decides it's time to show off the bleeding edge armor, especially when the Hulk was having performance issues. The way the nanotech just flows over his body like liquid metal is absolute cinema. It's a massive revelation because it shows that Tony has finally bridged the gap between man and machine. He's not wearing a suit anymore, he is the suit. The versatility of the nanotech, forming shields, blasters, and extra boosters on the fly, made him look like a futuristic god. It was a viral moment that had every tech nerd drooling. Seeing him go toe-to-toe with Thanos' generals with such flair proved that Iron Man was still the MVP of the MCU. The nanotech reveal was the peak of his engineering genius and set the stage for his epic final stand. It was sleek, shiny, and carried enough aura to make even a cosmic wizard take notice. M. Night Shyamalan really pulled a fast one on us with this one. For most of the movie, you think you're watching a psychological thriller about a guy with multiple personalities, but then the beast is revealed.
Your gun cannot hurt me.
And the movie suddenly turns into a supervillain origin story. The scene where he bends the metal bars of the cage like they're made of wet noodles is terrifying, but the real power revelation comes when he gets blasted with a shotgun at point-blank range and it barely leaves a scratch. His skin is literally as tough as rhino hide. James McAvoy's performance is haunting. The way he moves like an animal and growls with such primal rage is pure nightmare fuel. It's a grounded but visceral power reveal that caught everyone off guard. It turned a creepy thriller into a part of the unbreakable cinematic universe, which was a massive twist. The Beast isn't just a personality, he's a physical manifestation of trauma turned into a monster. Seeing him climb walls and shrug off bullets in general was a total game changer if you ask me. This movie had a really cool concept. Imagine a pill that gives you 5 minutes of a random superpower, but the reveal of Art's power, played by Jamie Foxx, was on a whole different level of epic. It turns out his skill is based on the pistol shrimp, which might sound a little lame until you see it in action. He creates a massive shockwave of heat and pressure that literally vaporizes everything around him. It's a destructive force of nature that looks like a tactical nuke going off in a confined space. The visual effects for the steam and the distorted air were top notch. It's a massive power reveal because it shows that he's the ultimate living weapon. He doesn't just fight his enemies, he erases the entire zip code. Jamie Foxx brings so much intensity to the role, and the 5-minute timer adds such a crazy level of stakes. It was a viral hit on Netflix for a reason. After all, seeing someone turn into a human pressure cooker is the kind of absolute cinema that we live for. We spent a whole decade seeing the Hulk as the unbeatable tank of the MCU. He smashed Loki, he smashed Ultron, and he even held his own against Thor a couple of times. But in the opening minutes of Infinity War, Thanos enters the chat and humbles the big guy in record time. This is a massive power revelation, not for the hero, but actually for the villain here. Thanos doesn't just even have to use the Power Stone to win, he uses pure martial arts and strength to dismantle the Hulk. It's a surgical, brutal beatdown that left audiences in total silence. Seeing the Hulk look genuinely shocked was a first for many fans. It established Thanos as an S-rank threat immediately. He didn't just beat the strongest Avenger, he made it look easy. The choreography was tight, showing Thanos' technique versus Hulk's raw brawling. It was a total power move from the Mad Titan that set the stakes for the rest of the movie. If the Hulk is a toddler compared to this guy, then everyone else is basically in big trouble. In the original theatrical cut, Flash was mostly a clown used for comic relief, but Zack Snyder turned him into a literal savior of the universe when it was his turn to show us how bros get it done. The scene where he enters the Speed Force to reverse time is one of the most visually stunning moments in superhero history. As the world is literally being torn apart by the mother boxes, Barry Allen decides to break the rules of physics. The At the Speed of Force track playing in the background adds so much gravitas. It's a massive revelation of what he's actually capable of. He's not just fast, he's a time-traveling god. The way the ground reconstructs under his feet as he runs is pure absolute cinema. Every fan watching this moment who grew up with the CW show finally saw the Flash they deserved. It's a beautiful, high-stakes moment that proved Flash is arguably the most important member of the league. He didn't just run fast, he saved existence. The aura in this scene was legendary, and it remains the highlight of the entire 4-hour epic. Truly a masterpiece of visual storytelling. Before CGI became a bit of a regular standard in movies, the Mummy was out here doing revolutionary stuff. Imhotep's power reveal in the desert is still one of the coolest things ever put on screen. He literally turns the entire Sahara Desert into a giant version of his own face to swallow a plane. Talk about a massive ego, right? It's a terrifying display of elemental control. He isn't just a creepy guy in bandages, he's a walking plague who can command the earth itself. The visual of the giant sandstorm face roaring is iconic and has been referenced 1,000 times since. It was a total power move that made the heroes look like tiny ants in a very big sandbox. Even today, the effects hold up surprisingly well because the scale was just so ambitious. Imhotep really showed everyone why you don't mess with ancient Egyptian priests who've been cursed for 3,000 years. It's a classic villain revelation that brought a whole new level of supernatural threat to the action-adventure genre. See, it's always a bold guy, isn't it? Baddie Diana had already proven she was a beast on the battlefield, but her final confrontation with Ares was the true goddess moment. For most of the film, she thinks her power comes from her sword, but when Ares was dominating her with ease during the first half, she realizes she is the god killer. The revelation of her lightning manipulation and her ability to absorb Ares' attacks was a massive level up. The scene where she moves forward, as if with a whirlwind of energy, is peak superhero height. It was the moment she transitioned from a warrior to a legend. Seeing her take down the god of war with his own power was a total Uno reverse card. The emotional weight of Steve Trevor's sacrifice fueled her transformation, giving the power reveal some serious main character energy. It was a visual feast, and Gal Gadot nailed the transition from confusion to absolute divine authority. This scene solidified Wonder Woman as one of the most powerful beings in the DCEU, showing she can go toe-to-toe with literal gods and win. Sometimes a power reveal isn't a mutant gift or some superpower that gets blessed onto you. It's just a really, really big suit of armor. When the Hulk goes on a rampage in Johannesburg, Tony Stark calls in the Veronica satellite, and we get the debut of the Hulkbuster. Seeing the pieces fly down and assemble over the regular Iron Man suit was a dream come true for comic fans. It's a massive revelation of Tony's prep time genius. He literally built a machine specifically to fight his best friend's alter ego. The fight that follows is absolute carnage, smashing through buildings, using jackhammer fists, and basically turning the city into a demolition derby. It showed that Tony had the technical power to match the Hulk's raw strength. This was a viral moment that defined the Age of Ultron hype train. Every Marvel fan of the time has at least one Hulkbuster toy or poster because of how much baller energy this suit radiates. It was a technical marvel and a massive display of Stark's don't mess with me capabilities.
I'm sorry.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers? Yeah, this line from Odin is the perfect setup for one of the greatest power reveals ever. While getting beaten to a pulp by the Hulk in the Grandmaster's arena, Thor finally taps into his true potential. No hammer, no Mjolnir, just raw lightning coursing through his veins. The moment his eyes glow blue when he hits the Hulk with a massive electrical blast is pure hype. It's a revelation that changes his entire character arc. He's not a guy with a magic tool, he is the freaking storm itself. The slow motion shot of him leaping through the air with lightning trailing behind him is absolute cinema. It's the kind of awakening that fans had been waiting for since 2011. Seeing him finally live up to his title without any crutches was a massive aura boost for the character. He basically told the strongest Avenger that he's the real MVP. This scene set the tone for the new Thor we'd see for the rest of the MCU. My Queen Storm has been a bit of a background character in the first movie, but X2 finally let her unleash the weather. During the jet chase sequence, she decides she's had enough of the military planes and summons a massive swarm of tornadoes. It's a huge power reveal because it shows that she's a one-woman army. Watching her eyes go white while she creates a literal graveyard of wind for the enemy is so badass. Halle Berry captured that goddess of the elements vibe here. It reminded everyone why Storm is an Omega level mutant. She doesn't just make it rain, she manipulates the entire atmosphere to her will. For 2003, the special effects for the tornadoes were actually pretty impressive. It was a viral moment before viral was even a thing. This scene proved that the X-Men aren't just a group of weirdos in leather, they're actually world-altering forces. Storm finally getting a special person moment was a highlight of the sequel and solidified her place as a powerhouse in the franchise. This is arguably the most creative and fun power revelation on the entire list. When Quicksilver helps break Magneto out of the Pentagon, he shows off a level of speed that makes everyone else look like they're literally frozen in time. The choice to use Time in a Bottle as the soundtrack was a stroke of genius. We see him casually running on walls, rearranging bullets, and tasting soup while guards are mid-blink. It's a revelation because it shows just how broken his power is. He could solve almost any problem in seconds if he wanted to. The visual effects were so clever, using everyday objects and physics to show his perspective. It turned Quicksilver from a random mutant into an instant fan favorite. This scene has so much boss energy that it's unreal. He's not even trying, he's just having a laugh while taking down an entire security system. It's a true delight and remains one of the most rewatchable scenes in any superhero movie. Talk about moving at the speed of Cork. If you want to talk about first flight, this is the gold standard. Henry Cavill's Superman finding his limits and going past them is a truly transcendental moment. The way the sonic boom cracks the air as he accelerates across the globe is pure cinema. It's a massive rev because it's not just about flying, it's about Clark finally accepting who he is. The sense of scale is incredible here, going from a snowy mountain to the edge of space in seconds. Hans Zimmer's score makes the whole thing feel like a religious experience, doesn't it? It's the ultimate power reveal. because it captures the joy and the terrifying potential of being a god amongst men. Seeing the dirt rise off the ground before he takes off is a detail that still gives fans chills. It was a viral moment that redefined Superman for the modern era. No more goofy smiles. This was a powerhouse taking his rightful place in the sky. The vibe in this scene was so strong, it basically built the entire foundations of the DCEU. Peak stuff indeed. Nightcrawler's attack on the White House is widely considered the best opening scene in superhero history. We see him teleporting through the hallways, taking down Secret Service agents with a terrifying combination of speed, agility, and that signature BAMF smoke. It's a massive power reveal because it makes him look like an unstoppable demon. He moves with a fluid, animalistic grace that's just mesmerizing to watch. The way he uses his tail as a fifth limb is a total boss move. For 2003, the choreography and the editing were light years ahead of their time. It established Kurt Wagner as a special class threat and set the stakes for the rest of the movie. Every kind of fan who sees this for the first time is immediately hooked. It's a masterclass in how to introduce a character's powers with maximum impact and style. He wasn't just a mutant, he was a ghost in the machine in the most secure building on Earth. Truly one of the most viral moments in X-Men history.
Don't shoot!
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. Those words properly introduced the world to the ultimate power revelation, the Force. Before this scene, Vader was just a tall guy in a scary suit who could use this power, but without us fully understanding its true use. But when he casually chokes Admiral Motti from across the room without even moving his hands, everything changed. It's a massive revelation of the invisible, terrifying power of the dark side. It established Vader as the ultimate final boss of the galaxy. He doesn't need a blaster or a fleet to put you in your place, he just needs the thought. This scene is the DNA of every power reveal that followed it. It was a total boss move that showed the difference between military technology and mystical power. Even in 1977, the impact was huge and it's become one of the most quoted lines in history. Vader really told the High Command that their technological terror was nothing compared to his aura. It's the OG viral moment that made Star Wars a legend.
This bickering is pointless. Now, Lord Vader will provide us with the location of the rebel fortress by the time this station is operational.
Hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to the TV Regent, and here's another video that I know you're going to enjoy.